Welcome back to Supergirl, guys. All about Eve. More like Jimmy's got PTSD. Jean is still trying to figure out who he is, and Supergirl's gone bad. That plus news and gossip, so stay tuned.
Tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
And we are back. Awesome. Supergirl episode 17, all about Eve. But was it really? Was it really?
I was like, all about everyone but Eve.
My name is Zach Silverman, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have a lovely panel I would love to introduce. Guys, why don't you take it away?
Hey, guys. My name is Heather Wake. Hello, hello.
Hola, Jorge Pallo here. What's happening?
We are missing Tehran yet again. He is on tour, enjoying himself, doing some good stuff out there. So we miss you, Tehran. Can't wait to have you back. Let's get into it tonight, guys. What did you think of episode 17? Heather.
I was wondering if I was watching a science fiction soap opera half the time.
Bold and the Beautiful of some
Yeah,
sort?
I was like, wow, they are doing some I mean, especially all of the stuff between Lena and her mother, which I know we'll get into, but like there were like the soap opera turns and like looking away, but like not really revealing what they were feeling to the person they were talking to, but the camera caught it. Like it was something. And I guess I knew we weren't going to hit a bunch of stuff with Lex, but he still felt like a pretty integral part of the show. I think they've done pretty well though with not having such an iconic role like Lex Luthor totally overwhelmed the show. Maybe that's why they
Reeled it back a little bit.
Some pretty interesting plot developments over the past couple of episodes, but not a whole lot of it is executed. I felt like I was watching a bunch of different things at once, but Supergirl does that a lot, so I can't be...
They're kind of introducing more plot lines as if there's like a whole nother 15 more episodes left when there's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Jorge, what do you think about tonight's episode?
There was a lot to unpack there. A lot of baggage. A lot of stuff to, I mean, you got John and his dad and him figuring out his identity. You've got Jimmy and his PTSD. You've got... It really wasn't all about Eve, now was it? No.
It revolved around following her, trying to figure out what's going on.
So, yeah.
The breadcrumb trail.
Yeah, I agree with the soap opera thing. Even when Brainy got his Legionnaire ring back, it was that moment of, oh, really? You know. Yeah, but all around, interesting episode, yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into it. We start the episode with Lena waking up in her chair from being chloroformed. What's the first thing that she does when she's out of the hospital? She goes right to her mother.
I got a question before that happens.
By all means, please. Let's hear it.
Didn't she get chloroformed in the mansion? Why is she in her office?
From what I remember, they brought her to the office, tied her into the chair, and left the notes there.
I don't remember any of that happening. Well, that must have been
Were you
off screen.
No, I think it was very quick. I'm not sure why they did that.
Okay. Just checking.
It's just kind of one of those things. But you know what they do like to do in this show? They like to use wax-sealed envelopes.
They
Yes, they
do.
do.
Manchester,
We got
but
Manchester
only for villains,
red,
though.
Lex was blue. Very nice. They've taken some time for detail.
No,
I
I'm
like
sure.
it.
Yeah, I'm sure Lex runs a whole corporation on villain wax seals.
Well, I mean, clearly that's, Manchester got it from Lex.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Obviously, yeah. So anyway, just had to point that one out. Yeah, we got to see. I was actually kind of wondering what happened to Lena's mother most of this towards the end of the season. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, she's in jail, and so we got to see a lot of Lena and her mother time together in jail. How did we feel about this interaction, this back and forth, this power struggle, this chess game that we always see of them?
Yeah, when I think of their two major scenes, which is, when Lena goes and they have their moment where basically the mom wins their first round, I think, their first interaction.
It's a good way of looking at it.
Because she doesn't...
She gets to her.
Yeah,
She
Lena
lets her
does
get to
not get what she comes for as far as information. She goes, and then the second interaction, Lena totally wins the scene. Mm-hmm. So when you think about it being a chess match, I think the metaphor is really clear there. And again, like soap opera, man, I'm like, I want to look up the actress who plays Lena's mom, because it's like, oh, I bet I bet you had some good recurring on like Days of Our Lives or something, because you got that whole like evil villainous
Smirk and
soap opera lady thing going.
You know what I found that was interesting though? In the first interaction, it almost seemed as if a thought occurred to me that Lex was interacting with Lena's mom, because she had all this information and knowledge, and she was just like dangling in front of Lena, saying like, what do you think Supergirl and all these people are gonna think about when they find out like you're the person who created the serum that like healed Lex and did all these things? And it's just like, how would you know this in jail?
Because Lena's not telling her that. Yeah.
No, and
Lex is passing her, wax seal letters along,
Of course. My only thought was that
through the
she...
prison
Hi, Mom,
mail
how's it
system.
going?
By the way, working with Sis on the Hornigo.
I would assume maybe there's some TVs in there, but that's not something that she would be privileged to, unless she had the nice lavish digs like Lex kind of had when he was in prison. Kind of getting that special treatment.
Well, she is a Luthor, and she does have money, so.
Help from the chat. Side note: Gabby says that Eve took Lena to the office, tied up after being chloroformed.
Fantastic.
Hashtag clarity. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabby.
Very good. Yeah. So the chess game, and Lena got to win.
Yeah, and actually, again with the chat, the Mag727, I was going to mention this too. He says, I love the fact Lena told her mom that Lex wants her dead and that Lena is the only one who can protect her. And I just thought, oh, that was like such a juicy revenge moment. I mean, just see Lena being totally like swept off of her foundation. I mean, like she didn't
in the first interaction you're talking about.
In the first interaction.
Right. Well,
she didn't have a lot of the dialogue.
Hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, she was definitely the loser of that entire conversation. So to just be able to come back at the end and like...
Well, she kind of like went out of
power
she
back.
went out of character in that. Like she rushed from the hospital straight there, not knowing what to say or do. She's always calculating, prepared.
And she was impulsive this time.
She was impulsive that time. Yeah. It wasn't until finally she like took a breath and like kind of got her grounding. She was able to be like, okay, this is how things are happening. This is what's going on. It kind of was a little bit about Eve because we got to see a nice team up of Lena, Alex, and Supergirl following this breadcrumb trail of finding out where Eve is. So,
yeah, the cousin Betsy.
Good old cousin.
Or Bitsy. Bitsy with an
IE.
I knew a girl named
And
Bitsy
a hell of a right cross or whatever. Pounded right through that.
What do we think about that? We'll get right into that. That's the next pairing that we could get into if you guys want to. We got a nice triad, I guess would you call it? The teaming up of Lena.
That is a group of three, yes, a triad.
Triad, dyad. Yeah.
The trifecta, if you will.
Trifecta. Yeah. We got to see Lena, Supergirl, and Alex all work together.
Dude, I liked it, actually. I mean,
the chat was going wild for it. I was reading the comments before, and everyone's loving it.
Yeah, I'm like, these are all people I want on my team. So finally, for them to team up, I'm like, yes, all of the capable people. Yes, I love it.
There was a great interaction when the door opened, and Betsy.
Bitsy.
She's like, ooh, how can I help you? And then Supergirl's just like all cheery, like,
I know. I was like, are we going to sell some Girl Scout cookies or what's going on?
Exactly what I got out of that.
Super Girl Scout cookies.
Super Girl Scout cookies. I'm kind of happy that Supergirl was able to squash like whatever anger. She described it as seeing red every time she's with Lena. I'm happy that she's able to see the greater good of things and move past being able to work together.
She was only able to see through that because Lena brought to light that if she hadn't created the Hyronol, then Jimmy would have died.
Yeah.
So
everyone else was like, yeah. Oh, but Jimmy. All right, fine.
All right, you saved Jimmy. Okay. Okay.
I mean, I don't really care about him anymore, but okay.
Yeah. Well.
I actually, to be honest, I had forgotten that Lena and Supergirl had animal. I thought for some reason they had mended I thought they were on the mend.
Well,
and
that's the thing. There's been so many like episodes where it's not been Supergirl. Like Lena has just been. They just haven't interacted enough.
Exactly, no. And this whole with the Alex and Supergirl conflict right now, I had simply had forgotten that Lena and Supergirl were frenemies.
That's kind of the one thing that I have an issue with this. With the later half of the season, I feel like there's so many stories and so many plot lines going on. this happens all the time.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
right.
wait, huh?
I kind of forgot that they were beefing. That they didn't like each other because none of these interactions were around to get us
Because
to remind us about it.
Lena's always interacting with Kara, and Kara and Lena are like are besties. They get
Exactly.
along great.
Yeah.
So you kind of forget the whole fact that as Supergirl they don't get along.
So as an audience member, do you like that, or is that just like extremely jarring to you? Like, I don't know, chat. How do you think about that? Is that something that you recall, remember? I don't know. I feel like an idiot sometimes because I'm like, oh, that's right. That is happening. They don't like each other. Now I have to remember this. Cool. All right.
So then why
It's
does
like
Kara
playground
like her?
etiquette. Oh, wait, they were friends last week, but this week, no. So,
Frenemies.
What were you going to say? Why is Kara what?
So then why does Kara get along with her if Supergirl doesn't get along with her? That's the part that confuses me.
That is very confusing. That I don't understand. I think maybe it's something that she plays along with around.
well, Kara is a more neutral character. You don't really, I mean, Kara doesn't exactly uphold certain principles. And I don't think Kara and Lena have had a head-to-head about the Harrenhal or giving superpowers to humans, where she has with Supergirl.
Right.
Had
So it's
that.
not something that she could necessarily bring up with.
Yeah,
while
and
being
then Kara,
Gotcha.
also being Supergirl, knowing that this fight is going on, I don't think she's ever brought it up. From what I remember, many episodes ago.
Fair enough.
So
Fair
much
enough.
has happened since then. I don't know.
Okay.
We are in 18 after all. Jeez Louise.
17.
17. This is
17.
episode 17, coming on to 18 in 3 weeks.
Yeah, then we're gonna really have to remember everything.
I know, right? Well, we had an awesome pairing. Well, more than a pairing because it's more than two. But they are all about finding Eve, and we come across Eve's cousin Bitsy, who has cancer and had cancer. Had cancer, and all the while I thought maybe she was just like playing it. Like I definitely knew she knew something, but I thought maybe like Eve had just concocted such a great story to lie to everybody that I don't know where I was going with that. I just think that Eve concocted a great story to lie, and that Bitsy just didn't had any clue about it. Little to find out that she actually did have cancer. So like, how do we feel about Eve is kind of doing good?
Yeah, but does Bitsy have superpowers now?
She does.
She has super
She's-
strength.
she has super strength
She
now?
was cured, which is interesting because we see that, but we haven't seen anything with James yet.
I was just about to say, it makes you wonder what's gonna happen with.
I don't
James.
know, because there was a moment in the hospital when he was leaving and the bucket fell or something, and I don't know if it was PTSD or something having to do with his senses and like
Oh
he
no,
heard something.
I think I'm 100% sure it was PTSD.
I will have to disagree with you on that.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
It's just a
it was
bucket.
kind of akin to, oh God, which one was it? I think they did it in like the Superman when the first one when Zod came and took off his helmet and in like all the sounds like blaring.
Yeah.
And, like I thought it was something
Yeah,
along
I thought it
those
was something
lines.
along those lines too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like maybe his powers are coming on along with a PTSD because then we had another scene with him where he was around guns and he just freaked out, So,
Well, you are both entitled to your wrong opinion. That's fine.
Okay.
well, we have Betsy.
Granted, I do think James is going to have powers, so
I think he will as well.
just saying.
Good.
But I digress.
You digress.
We'll save that for predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's save that for predictions. Chat, we would love to hear what you have to say. And chat, we wouldn't be anything without you. Jorge, why don't you...
Oh, of course. And yes, let's do mention what the chat says because they're agreeing with me. Black Magic 99, always reliable, says that, that was supposed to be his PTSD. The sound reminded him of a gunshot.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
I think you're trying to add too much complication to
Well, look,
this.
if Betsy,
guys.
if Betsy's gonna have superpowers, she was given the same serum. Lex has superpowers by the same serum, so Jimmy doesn't.
I'm
That's
not saying that Jimmy doesn't have
2
powers.
out of 3?
I'm saying that he does have powers, but I don't think that's what
the
they
FDA
were.
warning: 2 out of 3
Just
may
saying.
get superpowers. The third person, I'm sorry, you're shit out of luck.
Oh yeah, talk about
I'm just
Awesome
saying
side effects.
that if he did get superpowers, it'd be pretty cool if it was super senses and not just super
Super
strength.
strength, yes.
there are other people on the chat commenting, but they don't agree with me, so I'm not going to.
Why, thank
say
you,
it.
chat.
There you go.
Jorge, why don't you take it away?
All right, let me say a little something to the chat here. Hey, guys. Before we move on to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help. If you're on the YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, please give us a super 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us in doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your super friends, and keep enjoying our shows.
Ooh, I like that little ad-lib there, super friends.
We're super friends.
Yes, because everybody here is super. What do you guys think about this? Let's talk a little bit more about the Jimmy PTSD. I want to hear what your thoughts on all this, because they're almost like forcing another storyline with his sister in it, and I don't know if I can handle it anymore.
Yeah, I think this entire episode had a lot of like emotional culminations between like family members, right? Mother, daughter, father, son, brother, sister.
Sister.
A good band.
Yes. Also a good TV show, you know, back in yes.
Twisted Sister.
It makes me wonder if it was trying to go into the tone of the show, if it was supposed to add another layer to Jimmy with this traumatic thing that he was going through, because I don't think we've ever really seen Jimmy teary-eyed like he was with his sister.
No, he's vulnerable and weak in this.
Yeah, or if it's just to introduce the sister more, because she's going to be more involved in the story throughout this season, or if the writer's just trying to kill multiple birds with one stone. I don't know. But I felt very aware of all of that, more so than being empathetic, I suppose. But that might have just been me.
So you weren't empathetic towards the PTSD. That's what you're saying.
No,
you
but I
care
mean,
less for it. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, but to be fair, I feel like, especially, I don't know, currently I've seen a lot of shows using that trope of the PTSD, so maybe I myself am just
Fair enough.
desensitized to it.
I think it's well placed. It's with a character that I like to see have vulnerability, because he was the Guardian and is strong. And you.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and like don't forget, this is the 7th time that
Eighth time
Lex is trying to kill James. I mean that's got to take a toll on you eventually, right?
I mean, how much more PTSD can you have? I mean, really, God.
I don't think he has had any. That's the thing. I think finally it's coming up, and it's nice. We have Supergirl's been known to address issues that are occurring in society today, and this is something big. So it's a nice way of sprinkling it onto all of us to make aware. So, Jorge, any opinion on it?
It definitely is a way to bring his sister into the episodes more, because isn't she supposed to be the new love interest for Alex, apparently?
So we've heard.
Somewhere down the line.
Derek Hogan says that she is going to be a series regular next season.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely a way. So the writers are definitely killing a lot of birds, because and seeing Jimmy having to go to his sister and say, "I need help," you felt for the guy.
Yeah.
You felt for the guy. I think that moment of him finding out it was Tessmacher that tried to shoot him, which then connected it to Lex trying to kill him again. That makes it 9 times now, not 8. How many lives does Jimmy have?
Oh, it's true. If you were a cat, it's only one more.
That's
Only
it.
one more.
He's only got one left.
I find it interesting, though, how this episode was an episode of connecting the dots, following the breadcrumbs, because not only did we have James figuring out it really wasn't Manchester who shot me. It was Tessmacher who's connected to Lex. Mm-hmm. We also have Ben Lockwood Ben Lockwood put back into this episode with his son, and we get to see him find out that Otis is connected to Lex, and Otis was the one who essentially gave him allowed him to uprise and have all this power, or help him come to this power.
Right.
So we have all these characters kind of their worlds crumbling beneath them almost.
Connecting the dots. And now Otis is a Metallo? Is that another thing that we found out?
No, so Otis died, but was brought back to life through the Metallo program.
Okay, so he would have Metallo abilities, right?
I guess so.
Huh.
There was four other test subjects prior to that, which would beg the question to see, like, ask why can't he go toe to toe with Supergirl, because Metallo's run off of kryptonite.
Right.
So why is he just avoiding her and not, like, going after her?
Why sick red daughter on her when you got a dude?
Because
of course, the pseudo kryptonite doesn't help her back either.
We already had the Metallo.
We've already had Metallo battle Supergirl and lose.
So redundancy
So why,
is the real kryptonite.
No, why not ruin her reputation? I mean, that's the real kryptonite right there. I mean, have her doppelganger go in there and screw things and
It's
make
definitely
a mess.
it's certainly, I'm seeing all the pieces get put together, and it's great. I bring up the fact that connecting the dots, because you really get to see the mastermind work of Lex, and if you want to like rewatch the whole season over again, you really can see how you could say, oh, that's where Lex stepped in on this, and this is where he's coming in now, and he really had such foresight to go so far as he did, that all this is coming together with Red Daughter.
Yeah.
It's great. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of Red Daughter. This is twice now. I'm sorry. The previews are so
We got a little bit of her accent. That's about it.
Oh man, I thought
We get a little bit more each time. It's more than like
My
the
English better
millisecond.
than yours.
better than yours.
The end.
Then-
Oh no! Wait, she said fear is better than.
Yeah, but she said that in an American accent.
No, it was
Yeah.
definitely
No,
Russian.
that was straight American.
That was straight
She did
American.
it in front of Lockwood, so that Lockwood would think that
It was
was
Supergirl.
Oh, interesting.
It's like you weren't watching the
I
episode.
know. I swear. I thought I heard that.
I don't know what you're hearing.
I said the quote, didn't I?
Okay.
God.
Okay. Well, we had more than that happening. We got an interesting interaction with John finally coming to terms with who he is as a Martian manhunter.
Oh yeah. Can we please?
Can we give an applause?
Thank you.
We have the
Yeah.
return of Martian Manhunter. All for him just to leave Earth.
Yeah, I'm like.
And that great car that he has. I mean, we have him coming to terms with who he is, and having a great interaction with his father, which kind of begs the question: why haven't you done this to begin with?
Yeah, I know. Like you could have done this 23 episodes ago.
He couldn't have, because the staff was just collected by Manchester, so he just now recovered the staff, but it could have been done a few episodes ago.
No, he just got the staff last episode.
Was it last episode?
Was the last episode?
Right when he
no,
died?
no, the
I thought he
episode,
got
the
it
episode
back
before
from
last.
Manchester.
Yeah, he got it back from Manchester. The episode before last.
Right, and then
Because
the
episode
last
before-
episode he killed him.
Yeah,
I guess there was a lot of fighting, so he kind of.
he was a little
get it.
busy.
Yeah, but
There's a
even in
little-
those episodes, he was like.
Or did he kill him? That's the other question.
See, that's the thing. When he was casting that psychic net, I thought that was Manchester's voice that I heard, not his father's.
That's what I thought at
Okay.
first too.
Chat. Can anyone help us out? Like, what did you think? I'd love to take a little poll and see if you thought that was Jean's father's voice or was it Manchester's
Oh, we're a
voice?
little bit too busy talking about how we heard a Russian accent from Red Daughters.
We moved past that, guys. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
moving on.
Moving on. You are wrong.
Right.
Yeah, so Jean has the bright idea to try and meditate, to speak with his father. And,
And he knocks on the door.
yeah.
I mean, he.
How did you feel
it was-
about all these scenes?
It was an interesting, like, comedic relief for sure.
It was kind of out of character of his father, right?
Yeah, which I mean, that being said, when he says he's an extension of his memory, I don't think anybody was necessarily surprised.
Not at all.
Yeah, they knew it was still a figment. And I mean, granted, John did seem surprised that he could even manifest that himself. So I guess there's the argument where, well, how could he have done it earlier if he didn't know he possessed that ability? Sure.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, yeah, I will allow that. I mean, I think this whole coming to terms with who he is, since I think more or less we knew he was going to come back to this.
Yeah.
It's a little bit long and drawn out, but I guess the payoff.
It was a good
With a
payoff.
se-
I'd like
yeah.
to say it was a good payoff. I enjoyed the interactions between him and his father. It was very out of character, I would say. And I was just like, immediately I was like, oh, he's doing the reverse psychology thing. That's cool. I loved his father's explanation of
bringing peace, but you don't have to
I don't
do what I
want
did.
you to be me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like I guess, I mean, I'm not a dad, but that's every father's dream for like their son to like grow into their own manhood and like, you know.
No, I actually thought that was a beautiful moment. The unconditional love.
Yeah.
I'm just a dork, but it reminded me of like the best scene in Mulan when he's like, the greatest gift and honor is having you for a daughter. Yes, Mulan, the greatest Disney movie of all time.
We're bringing it to Mulan right now.
Hey,
Okay.
it was a great parallel. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Makes me cry every time.
I didn't get that, but okay, sure. We could go with that. You threw my train of thought off there, Heather.
Because it was a beautiful moment.
It was a beautiful moment. All for it to come together, for him to be enraged with
Now, my son, getting your great whip and go.
I am the Martian Manhunter. Yeah,
So
that's good.
my question though is, I was a little confused with the symbols and him wanting to bring it to Mars, and him. What was just so confusing is one, he's the last of the Martians, so he's bringing it somewhere where it's like a desolate land, and he's hoping someone's going to find it again, but he's the last of his kind, so there's no repopulating. If someone does find it, how are they going to read it?
Oh, save that for predictions.
That's not even. I don't. That's not a storyline that they're ever going to even go to.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Really?
Yeah.
God, no. I don't like that. I just thought it was. His father gave it to him because he wanted him to carry on their race, right? And he like is taking it
Their
away.
history.
Their history. So now all that's gone.
Maybe you guys can remind me why is John not able to hold on to the symbol? Is it only if he is like a priest, like a man of peace, that he can hold on to the biblical symbols? Was that a rule established?
Yeah, I guess if he's
Yeah.
like a priest. Of
Yeah,
some sort?
yeah. I think
I
he
mean,
has
is
to
there
have-
not a clause in that, like, okay, well, if there's no one else left, then maybe we'll let somebody who's not peaceful.
I think it's just something about being worthy. His father was a peaceful man, you know, never did anything wrong in his life, and, you know, got to be bestowed with this knowledge. And so I think it's just kind of one of those things. I mean, one can go as far as say that that was the reason why Jean was like wavering so much, because he had these symbols in his head, this knowledge of, you know, trying to be a peaceful man. And I don't know. It was just another plot line that I don't know what they're going to do with.
I feel
'Cause
like
now he's running
I feel
off to
like we're
Mars.
tapping into what the writers were feeling like. Hey, can we? I don't know. Let's try it. Let's just.
Jenna James thinks that they could make more of a plot line of this.
I know there's going to be more of a plot line of this. I'm saving it for predictions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see
I
if
can
Jenna
get down with
James
that.
agrees with me.
Okay. Cool. What else? We had a little Ben Lockwood. A big thing happened. The Alien Amnesty Act was repealed.
Yeah, he got what he wanted.
He did.
Yeah, that senator or congresswoman was
a senator, but yeah.
was going to vote no, and then Eve must have coerced her. Or
I
something.
think something happened along those lines. That was very wishy-washy. I couldn't follow that very quick. Even Lockwood was just like, oh, I thought you voted no. She's like, just go with
Just
it.
take the win.
Just take the win. I mean, we had a bunch of. It looked like Eve was wearing the what was that thing called? Help me out.
The
Hologram
image,
thing, the
projector.
image thing that
Image
we got to see
producer.
Otis wearing, and of course it glitched out at the perfect timing on
Right.
live TV.
I know, like nobody else is gonna like that would be viral.
Hey, who was that?
What was that thing? Oh, don't worry about the woman behind the curtain. You know.
3-second delay.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. But thank God that we got to see Supergirl and everyone got to see that, or else they wouldn't have found out. But Lex is just pulling more strings behind the curtain. So.
Yeah, I never really get tired of it. Seems like right when Ben Lockwood is like, about to step up to like the pedestal of arrogance and swagger, then something happens, and it's usually like in front of somebody that's fawns over him, or like now his son who wants to be just like him, and he, he's like trying to set this example, and then something happens, and he's like, oh, like he turns into a Poindexter or something.
Yeah, his character's really strange. I think I really enjoyed his character of like Agent Liberty before like the mask kind of came off, and he was just like this very not stoic, but just very like evil. And now you like the mask is off, and you kind of just look at him, and you're like, but can you really do something? You're acting a little wimpy. You put the gun up, and you don't even know how to use it. Like,
but I think that's definitely Ben Lockwood. Like, I think he knew how to epitomize that kind of brute strength when he was hiding behind a mask, and now that he's
it's really
granted
easy to
almost
hide
more
behind a
powerful.
mask.
Well, yeah, but he also had more outreach and authority, at least at the beginning when he was first given, his show and the notoriety. But now it's.
Well, yeah, I mean, the senator even said, like, welcome to the White House. This isn't your, like, steal back to town or something. You can't, like, strong arm us here.
Yeah.
It's great. You can't use your liberty or children of liberty with us here. So.
Well, we might see them in the next episode.
I think we will. Yeah. And then the last bit of the episode. Red Daughter. It happened
and
so fast.
And she did not bring donuts for everyone, like Supergirl did. No.
No, she made a donut in the floor of the White House there.
Yeah. It was all too easy, I feel like, right? Like Supergirl finding... Like, why didn't Supergirl think this was all too easy? Finding Eve.
I don't know. Why was Supergirl able to break out of a kryptonite suit?
Because then you wouldn't have a story.
I think because it was like there was only 10 minutes left in the episode.
Exactly.
Like they should have. I wanted to see more of Red Daughter. I'm sorry. That whole last interaction should have been a little bit longer, more plot to the story as opposed to just like a very quick. And this is how we're gonna end the episode. It was not the
the appetizer. It's a little taste. A little taste.
Oh,
I really think, and this might be prediction territory, but
you hold your tongue if it's going to be prediction.
I think we're going to see more of Red Daughter in the next episode, surely. Like,
absolutely.
That's what I thought.
But if it's not 40 minutes of her, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah. Well, we got to see Supergirl get encased with Lex's super suit.
They love this trope. They love like putting her in the suit.
Why? What do you mean?
I feel like they just do it pretty regularly. Like they put her in that kind of suit and they do like the Iron Man thing. Yeah.
I mean, why not? Any chance to do something like that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was lined with kryptonite.
Yeah.
And it held her back. So the chat, I know earlier I know was going crazy, like how it's not killing her. She should be dead.
A lot of the chatters saying that they think Supergirl should be able to use the suit to chase after Red Daughter.
In what way?
In what way?
I don't know. I didn't say it. They did.
Actually, it would make sense that it wouldn't kill her. It would make sense that Lex would only use enough kryptonite to incapacitate her, because what he's really trying to do is ruin her reputation more than anything else. So why just kill her when you can ruin her?
See, that's the thing, because I thought in the last episode Lex wanted to replace her. Get rid of Supergirl and put Red Daughter in her place, because he's like, I want you to be Kara and Supergirl. You have to learn everything about her. And like he had her dressed in her clothes and went to her apartment. And he's like, this is how she lives. Understand it. Because I thought he wanted to like get rid of her and replace her so that Supergirl or Red Daughter would be like under his thumb. You know, he could. That's the Kryptonian pet that he always wanted.
I've been also curious if Lex views Supergirl as an equal threat, like he does Superman, or more of one.
Oh, I just think he hates the Kryptonians.
Just equally, just an equal blanket.
Yeah, I mean, if he had a number one on his hit list, it would be Superman, obviously, because, well, the hair.
Yeah.
You know, but no, he just hates the Kryptonians and their godlike powers.
Yeah.
Period.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. What'd you guys think about the whole 360 firing the lasers into the crowd and killing all the agents?
Well,
shots?
it was interesting because when I saw that, I was like, oh, I never fully realized how powerful the eye lasers were, because Kara, I don't think has ever, Supergirl has never quite used them in such a heinous way. So I was like, oh yeah, that can really do some damage. Come to find out.
I'd like to.
I would have liked to have seen it in a rated R version.
Oh man, yeah.
Where she was really doing some damage
Chopped in
and
half.
chopping them in half.
It's funny because, those same laser beams allowed her to do the donut thing right through the ceiling, and then you got the shot of outside of the White House and the beacon of of her laser beams just all across.
Right.
But yet it didn't go through the people.
Yeah, but people were just like, oh,
I like to.
no, I'm hit.
See, I like to think that it was Lex telling her to be like Supergirl in the sense that you could control the strength of your laser eye beams, that when it hits a person, incapacitate them. We don't want to kill them because that's really not what Supergirl would do.
No, I killed them. Yes, no, okay.
He's trying to keep her in line with Supergirl. Like, she would be angry about the repeal. Just enough to attack but not kill. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or is it just because it's PG-13?
That or because it's the FCC. That or because of
little bit of
FCC regulations.
I'm
just
stretching.
saying.
I thought,
Because it's not cable television, it's not DC Universe. Which is brutal.
Man.
Oof.
DC Universe would have been like,
dropping the F-bombs and everything.
using somebody's hand to cut off somebody else's head.
Yeah.
Oh, eBay.
Wow. The episode wrapped up with an interesting ending. I think finally we'll have some good battles and storylines coming to a close. So, that being said, is there anything else you'd like to say about the episode, guys?
I thought it was interesting how Colonel, what's her last name again?
Haley.
Agreed with Alex when she was like, no, she wouldn't do that. I thought that was
scene was very fast and quick, but yes,
fast and quick. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I
noted that.
I like that she is finally. I think she's coming to terms with the corruption of what she was under. Something jarred her enough to realize and see, like, oh shoot, this president is not good. Something's going on. Maybe I should put my faith in Supergirl. And the donuts helped.
When in doubt, always bring donuts.
When in doubt, bring donuts. Yeah.
When in doubt, bring donuts.
It warms even the coldest of hearts.
Awesome.
Where are your favorite donuts from?
Where are my favorite donuts from? Man, I grew up on Dunkin' Donuts, but
Right.
yeah, Munchkins. You guys call it donut holes out here. It's weird.
My favorite donut's the Boston cream.
Flavor of donut, you say?
Flavor of donut.
Flavor of donut.
Brand.
That's the Boston.
Gotcha. Chocolate. Just chocolate.
Just chocolate.
Chocolate,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Boston cream. Only good thing to come out of Boston.
That being said, let's get into predictions, guys.
Oh,
Wait,
you want
dude.
some news and gossip?
Oh, I'm so sorry. News and gossip first. Yes.
That's all right.
Totally forgot about that.
Short and sweet with the news and gossip. First, we had a really cool, if you guys go to themarystu.com, there's an interview with Katie McGrath. Basically, I just wanted to, if you want to scroll to the very, very bottom, I don't know if you guys noticed, Katie McGrath is wearing a lot of Lena Luthor is wearing a lot of burgundy, a lot of power suits, right? That was not coincidental. I'm a big fan of Katie McGrath, and I've followed her since I discovered her on Merlin. She actually helped design this costume that she was wearing because, fun fact, Katie McGrath actually started off as a costume designer, and that was how she was discovered for Merlin. You're welcome.
Wow.
Love you, Katie.
That's awesome.
Let's talk sometime. Totally different tone. Our next piece of news. I think the headline says it all, but self-described, quote, Supergirl moves City Hall to change policy on protests. Her real name is Sean Sunshine Strickland. Well, I don't know if that's her real name. That's what she calls herself. She sued San Francisco over its regulations for protests on City Hall steps. Basically, she was trying to do a ceremony for Mayor Adler, who had just died. They told her that she couldn't. She said this was against my First Amendment rights. You guys can read it all on the sfchronicle.com. But in a statement released by her lawyer, Supergirl of San Francisco proclaimed, "Justice is my mission and the battle continues."
Nice.
I was like, yes, very, very on brand. I like it.
All right.
Awesome. And that's it for the news and gossip.
Perfect. Now we can get into predictions. There's that music.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
A little whisper. Jorge, take it away. Let's hear this great prediction that you have.
Manchester Black is going to be the one to find the Martian symbols. and he's going to come out of there, and that's where his powers are going to come
How's he
from.
gonna get to Mars though?
He's already there. He's within the symbols. What I'm saying.
Because Jean kind of like blasted
Absorbed
him
him
away.
into-
Absorbed him.
Absorbed
His
him.
body
and-
just disappeared,
yeah.
right? And then the
he,
ring just
he
fell.
didn't disintegrate him. He absorbed him
Interesting.
into the staff.
So maybe it really was.
So
his
Manchester Black is going to
voice.
come out and find those symbols, and all of a sudden he's going to have his psionic powers.
So cool. That's a great prediction.
Thank you.
That's probably for next season. Then.
That'll be a next season prediction. This season prediction, more Lex, more Supergirl, more Red Daughter.
Oh, okay.
Fights and laser beams and
Awesome.
stuff like that.
That's I would have never guessed something like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
My prediction is that there is a spin-off for Martian Manhunter. It's him sharing an apartment with Manchester Black, and it's going to be in the style of 2.5 Men.
John Cryer's gonna be there too.
Exactly.
Oh, perfect.
2.5 Martians.
Yes.
Martians. Interesting. Cool. I think actually we're gonna have a wrapping up of Ben Lockwood. I'm
yeah.
hoping his
That's good.
character, Agent Liberty, maybe might see his end. So it seems like there's gonna be some type of battle going on.
They got to
There's
wrap
the-
up some of these antagonists. I mean, really.
God, yeah. Like, what are they just all gonna team up together and be like, have the fight for who's the biggest antagonist? I mean, no, I think maybe they will kill him off because I can't see his character going into the next
probably
season.
Red Daughter will kill him off.
Yeah,
too,
something along those lines. Because I think he'll have to be not a scapegoat, but Supergirl kill Ben Lockwood to further the plight of the story that we have so far. So yeah, guys, it's been
And no
great.
matter what, it's going to be in 3 weeks.
That's right. We have a 3-week
3-week.
break, guys. So remember that April 21st we will be back. It's been a pleasure, guys. It is getting late. My name is Zach Silverman. You can find me all across social media at Zach with a CH Silverman too. Guys, where can everyone find you?
Hey guys, all across the board, you can now find me at Batgirl Wake. I had to change it up so I could have it all across the board, but there you have it.
Hey guys, you can follow me at the El Jorge on all of my social media. That is TheelJorge.
Awesome, guys. Have a fantastic week.
And have a fantastic 3 weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.